While the world's attention is fixated on the flames in the Middle East and the theater of election politics, a different kind of conflict is brewing in a silent, frozen expanse. Above the Arctic Circle, beneath the shimmering auroras, a new great game is underway. One with stakes so high they could dictate the balance of power for the next century. By 2026, key international treaties that have kept the peace at the top of the world are set to expire, unlocking a frozen vault of unimaginable wealth. What follows is a silent, rapid militarization, a race not just for resources, but for ultimate strategic dominance. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a geopolitical chessboard being set in plain sight. The question isn't if a new Cold War has begun, but whether the world is paying enough attention before it turns hot. Let's discuss this in detail in today's video.
Let's view this side of the story with our YouTube channel, Acumen Analysis. Before the start of this video, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends to make them aware of upcoming threats to humanity.
The Great Melt, redrawing the map of global power. The Arctic is transforming from an impenetrable ice shield into a strategic corridor. Satellite data from NASA and the European Space Agency confirms a staggering loss of sea ice, opening passages that were once the stuff of explorers' legends. This isn't just an environmental crisis, it's a geopolitical earthquake. The receding ice is revealing new coastlines, new sea lanes, and access to a region that has been locked away for millennia, fundamentally altering the global balance of power in the 21st century. The frozen vault, trillions in untapped resources. Beneath the thawing permafrost and the Arctic seabed lies a treasure trove that modern civilization desperately craves. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the region holds an estimated 13% of the planet's undiscovered oil and 30% of its undiscovered natural gas. But the prize is even richer. The same frozen ground is laced with nearly $1 trillion worth of rare earth metals, the lithium for our electric vehicle batteries, and the minerals essential for advanced computing and defense technologies. Control of the Arctic means controlling the raw materials that will power the next century of innovation. The new Silk Road, control of the world's future shipping lanes. The melting ice is creating the planet's newest and most strategic shipping shortcuts. The Northern Sea Route along Russia's coast and the Northwest Passage through Canada's archipelago can cut transit times between Asia and Europe by up to 40% compared to the traditional Suez Canal route. This isn't just about saving time and fuel, it's about controlling the future arteries of global commerce. The nation that commands these routes will hold immense leverage over the world's economy, able to dictate terms and disrupt rival supply chains with a mere presence. The Russian fortress, Moscow's Arctic military dominance. Russia is not just participating in this race, it is seeking to win it by sheer force of presence. The Russian military has embarked on a massive buildup, constructing and modernizing over 50 military bases along its northern coastline. These Arctic trefoil bases are equipped with runways for advanced fighter jets, deep water ports for its growing fleet of nuclear-powered icebreakers, and sophisticated radar and anti-aircraft systems. This network represents a clear effort to establish a defensive and potentially offensive bastion, transforming its Arctic frontier into a fortified front line. The Dragon in the Snow, China's near-Arctic ambitions. In a striking declaration of intent, China, which lies over 1,000 miles from the Arctic Circle, has labeled itself a near-Arctic state. This self-proclaimed status is the foundation for its growing polar involvement. China is deploying powerful icebreakers like the Shuilong 2, Snowdragon 2, and has established research stations from Svalbard to Iceland. Western intelligence agencies view these scientific endeavors with deep suspicion, seeing them as a thinly veiled cover for gathering crucial data on underwater routes, resource mapping, and testing military-grade communications in extreme environments. The Western response: NATO's strategic catch-up. Faced with the rapid advancements of Russia and China, the United States and its NATO allies are in a strategic game of catch-up. The U.S. has reopened abandoned Cold War-era bases in Alaska and Greenland, deploying advanced F-35 fighter squadrons and upgrading its early warning radar systems. The U.S. Navy has also increased the frequency of its submarine patrols beneath the polar ice cap, the most secretive and strategically sensitive domain of all. This response, while significant, is widely seen as reactive, scrambling to counter the fait accompli being established by its rivals. The 2026 Flashpoint, when diplomacy meets a deadline. The year 2026 looms as a critical juncture. While no single treaty expires on this date, it represents a convergence of diplomatic and legal deadlines. Nations are submitting expansive, overlapping claims to the UN's Commission on the Limits of the Continental Shelf, arguing their underwater territories extend deep into the resource-rich Arctic seabed. The cooperative spirit that has governed the region is fraying, and 2026 could mark the moment it snaps, creating a legal and strategic vacuum. This is the tipping point where cooperation could be replaced by a naked scramble for territory. The financial icebreakers, the hidden money behind the Thaw. The geopolitical struggle is mirrored by a financial one. Major investment firms like BlackRock and Vanguard hold significant stakes in the energy and mining corporations poised to exploit the Arctic's resources. Billionaires like Elon Musk, whose Tesla empire depends on lithium, and Bill Gates, through his investments in advanced energy, have a direct financial stake in the outcome of this silent war. This confluence of financial and state power fuels theories of a shadow alliance, where the goal is not just national supremacy, but the consolidation of control over the resources that will define the next era of global power. The first shot will be silent. The Arctic is no longer a frozen wasteland. It has been transformed into the world's most volatile and strategic frontier, a vast, white canvas upon which the great powers are sketching the blueprint for the next century. Here, the colossal forces of climate change, insatiable resource hunger, and naked military ambition are accelerating on a direct collision course. This is not a future threat. It is a present-day reality. The great powers are not merely posturing for diplomatic advantage. They are actively fortifying for a confrontation, pouring billions into concrete and steel on thawing ground, and deploying the most advanced technology into the harshest environment on Earth. The sounds of this new Cold War are not the familiar cacophony of traditional conflict. There are no booming artillery shells or rumbling tanks. Instead, the soundtrack to this struggle is far more insidious. It's the quiet, relentless hum of a nuclear-powered icebreaker carving a path through once impenetrable ice, a sovereign claim made with every meter gained. It is the silent, ghostly drift of a submarine through the inky blackness beneath the polar ice cap, a hidden chess move in a game the public never sees. It is the hushed, calculated negotiations in corporate boardrooms and government chambers thousands of miles away, where financial and strategic interests merge to form a new kind of empire. This silence is what makes it so dangerous. It allows the world to remain distracted, to believe that the real conflicts are the ones flashing across their news feeds. But beneath the serene, aurora-lit surface, a threshold is being approached. And if the delicate web of treaties and diplomatic understandings finally shatters under the weight of this pressure, history may record that the first shot of the next World War wasn't a loud, definitive bang in a sun-scorched desert. It will be a silent, digital command, a sonar ping lost in the deep. a routine naval maneuver that suddenly turns confrontational in the blinding, white emptiness. It will be fired in the deafening, frozen silence of the Arctic, a silence so complete that the world might not hear the echo until it is already too late. The board is set, the pieces are moving. Do you believe the world is sleepwalking into an Arctic conflict? Share your perspective in the comments. If this video intrigued you, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more.